what you are doing here.
I am the great Bondo, and we are the traveling Gindas. No doubt you've heard of us. We are famous.
Welcome back to Retro Wednesday at the Chiter Manger. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the unproduced Ewoks Series 2 figures. And these were made from Procustomfigures. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of history about this. What I know from Sean at Dallas Finished Toys, we're going to get into looking at each one of these. And it's really interesting. They're very high quality. They are a bit pricey. But I absolutely love that they're getting made, and it makes these within reach for the average person. And we're going to get into talking about all of this, but we're going to do a little bit of comparison to what Sean had, an original set of these, the actual prototypes, and we're going to compare that as we go through this. But let's have a little bit of fun here with the Ewoks, and then I do actually have the entire set of the unproduced droids, and I'm going to have a Droids Week here in a few weeks. Well, that'll be a lot of fun. Let's get into talking about the Ewoks coming up. Alright, so a little history on this unproduced set of prototypes. Now, Sean at Dallas Finished Toys, and go check their site out. Really great. I've been dealing with Sean since the 90s. I actually started buying stuff from him about 3 years after he started selling. And he did tell me that he had a full set, and I didn't get all the details, but I think it was the droids and the Ewoks prototypes, and he sold that set for $22,000. And with that, that makes it out of the reach for the average collector. So to get a set of these figures, and the figures cost about $80 each from Procustomfigures, and then the price goes up as you get into carded and all that kind of stuff and coin. So we'll get into talking about that, but this is awesome, and we're going to do some comparisons, and yeah, definitely check out Dallas Finished Toys. Sean's a great dude and great business, but let's get into looking at these figures. So first off, I'm going to start the comparison to the Dallas Finished Toys. You can go out on YouTube, and you can see the whole video. They show all this stuff. I just captured these from YouTube to do some comparisons, and with that, we're going to start with this Chiter. And the thing is that Mark Poon over there at Procustomfigures did a great job with these. Now these cost $80 each, and he made them as the prototypes. I really believe, from what I've looked into it, you can pop the arms off. The arm came off easy on this. Not sure about the legs. Yep, legs come off easy on this. Probably on all of them. This one, they just came off when I was trying to put the whip in his hand. And then I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But you know, matched up next to the original prototype, I think that he did a really good job, and I actually think the colors are a little bit more vibrant, and if you were to make this a production model, the colors would look a little bit better. Now, I do want to point out the coin, and I'm going to point out all the differences and stuff on this before we get into all the rest of them. It'll be a little shorter for the rest of them, but I do want to point out the coin is a little, it's good. It's silver. The prototypes only came out of silver, as you'll probably see, and I did some research into this. The prototypes were silver. So this is made as prototype, not as a retail release, because this is a retail release coin with bronze. And then Hasbro's come out with their Knisa figure, and the Knisa. It's pronounced Nisa, I say Knisa, and it's a little bit brighter, sort of matches this one a little closer. That thicker, and the edge on this coin is ridged instead of smooth. So there's a big difference between what Hasbro did, and this is like a perfect coin of a replica. Now let's get into this figure here, and I want to say that he looks really cool. It's just a fun figure. These are the traveling Gindas. There's a second Ginda. There's 2 episodes about Gindas, which is surprising that they made 2 of the 6 figures Gindas. And that was a Kenner idea. It was not the Procustomfigures decision to make that. Here he is from the back, and he looks really cool. He's kind of squatty pose, kind of like he thinks he's in Masters of the Universe. He's got a bun, weird bun top on the head there, and it's kind of cool. So he's not an Ewok, he's not a Duloc, he is just part of like a gypsy tribe. Now there's the coin. Now if you want to buy these with the coin, you have to buy them in the package. And it's $105 each in the package, $80 loose with just an accessory. And with that, I went ahead and got, 2 sets. And with that, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of exciting to get what Chiter was going to give us and made almost exactly, to spec. Next up, we're going to look at another of the traveling Gindas. This is Bondo, and he is kind of the leader of this gypsy kind of tribe. Let's see if we can get the lighting just right. We're going to compare it to the picture from Sean at Dallas Vintage Toys. And you got to see that they got it pretty close, but it's slightly different color variations. And I think they did a really good job of what it would have looked like if Chiter actually released it. I like the brighter colors, slightly brighter colors. And the paint, the prototypes were all painted. These are actually injection molded, and the color of the actual plastic and the rubber, is it rubber? No, it's all hard plastic. The plastic itself was a certain color, and then of course they painted it, but it looks really spot on, almost perfect. Let's get a quick look at the card back, and here is what the card back looks like. There's the coin. Ewoks. Looks fantastic. They did a fantastic job on these. I am super impressed with it. Now, he does come with 2 accessories. He comes with like a horn, and I don't know, he might be needing to hold it up a little higher, and he does come with kind of a mace, and those accessories look really cool. He's got 2 little antenna on his head. He's got this kind of like a balding older dude, and let the sides grow out really far, and then it looks like he stitched together his costume, his outfit. But man, these look fantastic, exactly like what I've been looking at for years on there. Now, these have been available for years, by the way. I think this was one of the last figures that came out, but Mark's done excellent work over there, and I will link that down below, of course. We're not going to get into Morag the Witch, which I kind of view her as part of the Dulox world, but maybe I'm looking at that all wrong. I do want to point out her versus the prototypes. This is spot on. It looks fantastic. They did a great job. Well, he did a great job with it. And I'm going to shove in here real quick how the staff looks very similar to Logray's. That looks very, very similar. So just want to point that out. Slightly different color, of course. But what a great looking figure overall. I do like it. It comes with a kind of a handbag of magic spells and stuff. What a cool looking little figure. And the thing is, you're paying $80 for this little tiny figure with 2 accessories. And I understand a lot of people are not going to be in for that. But when you're buying this guy here complete, could run to 300. I watched it run to 300 just like that. No coin or nothing. You might want to step back and say, something made to the same level for $80. I mean, is it worth it? If you're not into this Ewoks thing, then you're definitely not going to be into spending the money on an $80 Morag. But I think she looks great. Now, getting back here, here's her coin. But you'll see that on the card. And yes, again, if you want to get them with a coin, you got to buy them on the card. And yeah, these were not cheap. I spent the money on it. By the way, I'm only going to buy like 5 things from Hasbro this year, so it's not like I'm going to be spending much money on Star Wars. Anyway, I might be buying 20 things from Ollie's, but these well worth the money. And here she is next to some Dulox, if you're interested in what she looks like. Very tiny compared to these Dulox. Now, I got to tell you, I feel like a collection is complete if you have a few scouts and a few shamans, but the shaman out of all this is my favorite. Still my favorite. I still like the shaman the most. When I think of Ewoks and the fact that I made so many of these Dulox, I think of the shaman because it's bright green, looks the coolest, and has that cool staff. Next up, we're going to look at Ouigi, not a Ouija board, but Ouigi the Ewok. He's a big older Ewok. Anyway, side by side with Sean's prototype there, I think it looks really close, almost spot on. He does come with 2 accessories. Let's take a quick look at this coin, and here is the coin of him. Yeah, gets the job done. Wicket's brother, Ouigi. And then he comes with a knife, a dagger, and a staff, which is kind of right up that alley. And here he is from the back. I don't know if I showed Morag's back, but he's got a hood on him. I mean, just like all of these other ones with the hood and kind of stuff. I mean, this Hasbro, but pretty cool. Now, here's the card back. Looks good. And they include the punch, and it's unpunched. Really awesome. Again, $105. That's what I paid for that thing. And then this one here was $80. And to get the coin, you got to buy a carded one, like I said. But this figure looks really cool. I'm having a lot of fun with these Ewoks, mostly because it's finite. There's not so many to go after, so let's go after the next one. Next up, we have Chief Chirpa, which is way different than the Chief Chirpa you had with the first 77 figures from Kenner, Return of the Jedi one. And this is what it looks like next to Sean's at Dallas Fish Toys. And I gotta admit that this is kind of fun and exciting to get more Ewoks in the Ewoks line. And that's kind of what sold me. I've always kind of put off Ewoks. The original Ewoks never made me excited because they look so bland. But these, look at all the color and detail that they were going to go into with this figure. It looks really nice. And then you can put this satchel. It's not a purse. It's not a merce, like a man purse, merce. It is a satchel. Or at least I'll go fight that one every day of the week. I'm just kidding. I actually don't care what you call it. He does come with this one accessory here, which is a staff with some feathers on it. And he looks really good. And you can see his grayish, whitish beard. You can see he's got horns on his head. And then he's got kind of like a leather kind of jacket kind of thing. And then, of course, got his hood. Looking really good. I mean, this is so much more interesting than what we got with the original line from 1983. Whenever we got these Ewoks. Now, here's the carded one. Going through here. There's his coin, if you're interested. And they look nice and shiny. And then there is Ewoks. Yeah, great looking. Did I just lose my punch? Did I lose my punch on these? That sucks. Anyway, there it is. Chief Chirpa, looking great. All right, so the last one we're going to look at is Popu, and I got to admit that it does look really good. Another one that looks great, and I've even seen some PVCs of this version of Popu go for like 40 or 50 bucks. And I would rather have a fully articulated figure with accessories and especially the card back and the coin. Compared to Dallas Fish Toys, of course, it looks really close. I mean, the colors are slightly different, but I think it's right on. You know, here's the other thing. The prototypes would never match what was released anyway, so this is kind of a blend between what's released, because they're still leaving that stuff going on with the arms and legs being plugged in. Here is Popu, the coin. That's what his coin looks like. Looks pretty good. And comes with two accessories. It comes with like a horn, like a Ricoli, the throat lozenge, and then he's got a club. Now this is classic with the originals too. Is holding this club, and I see the promo where he's holding the club, but I can't get him to hold this club to save my life. I could probably mess with it for another hour. I might get it to happen, but it did not happen for me. But I guess the card back's wanting to be shown. The artwork looks absolutely freaking amazing. Love it. Great looking. There's the coin. Great looking figure. Great job, Mark, on all of these. I am thoroughly impressed. They are pricey, but they're worth it in the end. And again, I'm never going to have to buy any more Ewok stuff because it's all made. So let's see what these look like as a team. So here you go with the team looking good over here. This is now sort of what my display's going to look like. I'm going to work on my display a bit, but it's going to look pretty cool to have all of these Ewoks from the Ewoks cartoon in it. Very excited to finally get these in hand and to be able to display them and to be able to enjoy them. And the thing is, I'm surprised they didn't do a Nisa, but there was no Kenner prototype for Nisa. I mean, you know, Leia made it, but other girls in Hasbro didn't make it. Kenner wasn't really pushing the envelope in that, but still, pretty cool looking set overall. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this look at the Wave 2 Unreleased Ewoks figures from... These are Pro Custom Figures, and I have to say, you can find them on Facebook, you can find them on his actual page and site. I wonder if that's going to go in there. I'm coming back in a few weeks when I get everything else. I'm going to do a whole week of droids line because, well, there's nothing really interesting in Star Wars. I got all of the droids figures. I still haven't unbaggied all of them, but we're going to go through everything that they made, but we're going to go through the original line first and then this. But I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think about in the comments below. And if you're on the fence on getting this, I got to tell you that I've seen a lot of custom makers dropping out of the game. I'm not saying that Mark is, but I'm saying that I bought these because what if 5 years from now he's no longer doing it and I didn't buy them now? And then they're skyrocketing on the secondary market. So let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe. Retro Wednesday. Out.
Chiter and his ferocious beasts.
Got to save her.
Follow me. Randy, we can't just go after her. There might be more Dulocs around.
What should we do?
Dinner! Those look like dinner! Yummy!
Gloria. On and on they flew to the witch's lair in Mount Thunderstone.
Soon he will come looking for his foolish apprentice. And I'll be waiting. Mine, it is mine to command once more.